always liked the place where history and music intersect. And so when I read the Little House on the Prairie books with my kids, I was struck by how many songs were mentioned. So it was already an area of interest. But in terms of Pa's fiddling, there are very few instrumental fiddle tunes mentioned in the books. What, maybe 8 or 10, something like that? Out of, I don't know how many, but most of them are songs, and I think it's because the songs were used to evoke a certain emotion that goes with the scene that Laura was describing. And so Pa probably knew lots more tunes than she ever talked about. So apparently he was entirely self-taught and learned by ear and could hear a tune once and play it and never forget it. And the breadth of the material that is mentioned in the books anyway is just amazing. He's very eclectic in his tastes. And so the Pa's Fiddle Project, you guys probably know something about this. I happen to have the CDs that this guy Dale Cockrell has, who's a professor at Vanderbilt, or one of the colleges in Tennessee, in Nashville. And, in any case, a number of the songs are performed here, and I will freely confess to being a bit of a purist curmudgeon in some regards, and so it's a little bluegrassy, you know, a little slick, probably not like Pa Ingalls played, but there's still a vast wealth of great songs and tunes, and I think it's a wonderful project to get them out there. So Charles Ingalls was born in 1836 in upstate New York, and the family migrated to Illinois and then to Wisconsin. That's where he meets Caroline, and that's where the Little House in the Big Woods was. And I'm sure most of you know more about this than we do. Then they went to Indian Territory and Kansas, which was not really legally open. Little House on the Prairie, Little House on the banks of Plum Creek in western Minnesota. Spent some time in Spring Grove, some time in Burr Oak, Iowa, so they moved around a lot. And everywhere. Yeah, that was Lake Pepin in Wisconsin, just across the border, I guess.
Ended up in DeSmet.
Yeah, DeSmet, South Dakota, thank you. And so I always want to know, what did this guy really sound like? And so there was another fiddler that you've probably heard of named Jasper Bisbee, who was born in New York. He was 8 years younger than Pa, born 8 years later. And so probably exposed to similar things growing up, and then migrated and ended up in Michigan, and was discovered by Henry Ford and recorded by Thomas Edison. At any rate, on one of these, let's see which one is it, on this one, there's a little snatch of Jep Bisbee playing The Girl I Left Behind Me in a wonderful, beautiful, archaic style, and so I recommend listening to that.
So, Mary Pat, when you teach this one, when that comes up, take a listen of that, because it's really a wonderful difference in the way you might hear it today, and how it was in the time when Pa was playing. Even though we don't have Pa's recording, we got this guy who was contemporary, basically. And just by the by, I have 3 postcards here. One is a picture of the Ingalls as a young couple. One is a picture of Laura as an older person, and here's Pa's fiddle. So, Roger's taking a nap.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
I should remember, because we read every single one of these books aloud to our girls 20 years ago when they were growing up. But I remember Pa playing the fiddle, but did he sing and play the fiddle?
Yes.
Did they all sing with him?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't for square dancing or whatever.
Well,
It
he
was
did
for
play
that
for-
too.
Okay.
He played for,
There's
lots
lots
of
of
things.
scenes.
That's going to go
Let's see, there's one square dance scene in particular, but yes,
In the books.
frequently it was to entertain the family, and the girls would sing along, or they would march around, or they would dance.
Or Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, he was like just an everyday fiddler. He used.
He was invited to play lots of things, church things, socials, and just any number. He sounds like a real fun guy to me, kind of like Roger here.
Yeah.
Sleeping all day.
Anyway, well, and so I have a couple of tunes and songs to teach here if you want to learn them.
Good.
Well, one I bet almost everybody knows is Buffalo Gals. And this one is mentioned in the scene in Little House in the Big Woods when I think they've, just done the sugaring thing and they're having a dance and what are they, pulling taffy in the kitchen or something and Pa's playing the fiddle. And Buffalo Gals is mentioned in that particular passage. So in the key of A, I thought we would do Buffalo Gals. And I have paper for those who really feel much better with it, if you want it. Let's try it.
Maybe later.
Let's try it without it, and then I'll pass out some paper.
Remember, it was in A Wonderful Life, too. They sung.
That's right.
Song to
I guess this started out with as a minstrel song, Lovely Fan. Then kind of, it's talking about the girls of Buffalo, New York, not girls that look like buffaloes.
Cool.
All right, and then there's Round Town Gals and Alabama Gals, wherever you happen to be. But so I'm going to play a really simplified version of this, just really quickly, with a little guitar, sure. Probably already know, some of you already know this. I believe this crops up in Little House on the Prairie. They're about to leave and they're looking at the waves of grass and Pa starts singing about floating away in a gum tree canoe because of the waves. Made him think of that or something. Anyway, it's also, I guess, called the Tom Bigby River. Or not to be confused with the Tom Bigby Waltz, which is a different tune. Yeah. Anyway, we'll play this one time, and then, if you want, I can teach it by phrases or pass out the paper, whatever you guys want me to do. But G.